Hey there! So I thought it would be cool today to do a video about my piercings. Seeing as I have so many, I just thought it would be something fun to do and something to talk about. So I have my handy little notebook down here to remind me of what to say, otherwise I will go on a tangent and completely forget what we were talking about in the first place. Let's get started. So the first piercings that I got were my lobes. They pretty much are just the standard thing that everybody gets. They're not anything that ridiculously special. They're just the standard. So my parents were okay with this one. My mom wanted me to have them because she was afraid that if I grew up afraid of needles, which is obviously not the case, but she was like, I want her to be able to have the ear piercings and not have to remember the pain of it in case she just is afraid of needles or doesn't want to do it. She took me in to a Claire's and I was 3 months old. I can't remember the pain because I was a baby, but my mom said I did cry, though she thinks it's because of the fact that the gun was so loud. Apparently the guns they used to use were very loud, so I did cry, but I was 3 months old, give me a break. The second piercing I got was my belly button. I got my belly button when I was 16, and yes, my mom was okay with it. Actually, I was 15. There was the day before I turned 16, and my mom was like, okay, let's just go now because we won't have time tomorrow, because I was having a party and stuff. It was basically a present for my 16th birthday from my parents, and there is a funny story with this. See, I actually asked my mom jokingly, I was like, for my birthday, can I get my belly button pierced? And I was totally expecting no, but she was like, yeah, sure. And I literally was like, wait, what? Like, I couldn't believe my mom had just said yes. And I was really excited because I did want one. I just didn't think she would say yes. Pain-wise, it did hurt more than any of my other piercings, which was really surprising because most people with piercings say that the belly button didn't really hurt that much. Aside from the pain, the healing was really well. It was sore for, I think, the next 24 hours. It was sore for 24 hours, and it really didn't hurt that much. It bled once. I think it was mostly because my body was so tense when I got it, and my body just like relieved the tension afterwards, and so it was sore for that. But other than that, it didn't really hurt, and I never had any problems after the initial 24 hours of having it done. The next piercing that I got would be my doubles, which are the second holes right here. I was 16 and it was in the wintertime of my sophomore year. My parents didn't mind these. They were basically just another thing. They were kind of just like whatever. I mean, even my mom has them done, and personally I think she should wear them more because I think they're really pretty on her, but that's just me. I like piercings, so I guess I'm a little biased on that. These barely hurt. I did not even feel them. Like, I mean, it felt like somebody was just touching my earlobe. She said, "You're done," and I was kind of just, oh. The healing, I think, was not as great as I would have expected it to be. The healing was crappy, just because my ears, for some reason, are just really sensitive to piercings, and I discovered this after having a couple done. They hurt for a year. Normally they're supposed to be completely healed in 6 months. I mean, I took care of them and they just weren't that great. So now they're fine, but originally they were pain in my butt. The next piercing I got would be my cartilage, which is right, oh, here's in the way. It's right here. I had to really beg my mom on this one. I just really wanted it, and I was not yet 18 and I didn't want to wait. So I was like, Mom, please, please. And she finally broke down and took me and let me get my cartilage pierced. So this was the summer right before my senior year in high school. The pain really just felt like a pinch, and the healing was pretty fine with this one. There is a weird like bump on my cartilage behind there. It's like a dark spot. I don't know what that is. I'm thinking keloid, but it's such a weird spot that I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it did heal really well. It was sore in the beginning for a couple days, but after that it was totally fine. The next piercing I got were my triples, which are the third holes that are right here. My parents didn't really comment much. They didn't really care. My mom took me to get them done. I was just kind of like, okay, you know, whatever. They're just another hole in my lobes, not a huge deal. I got these during the winter of my senior year in high school. They really hurt just like my doubles. There wasn't anything special about them. They didn't do anything different really than my doubles, except for the fact that they took even longer to heal. I took care of them as well as I could, and they still took forever. And even now they're still finicky, and it's really annoying, and I just don't know why my lobes hate piercings, but at least they're not horrible. They could be a lot worse and majorly infected, but they're okay. The next piercing that I got was my industrial. and it's hard to do it because the one I have in is really hard to get my hair away from it, but it's this one. I have a little key kind of looking thing in there right now. I got this a couple days after my 18th birthday. My mom was unwilling to sign for it. She was like, okay, you're 18 now, you know, I don't want to sign for any more piercings. It's your responsibility now. So I went in and I had my industrial done. My mom didn't hate it, but she like doesn't really care for it. She just isn't a piercing person, and that's totally understandable. Everybody has their own way of viewing piercings and tattoos and everything pretty much. So she's not that huge of a fan of it, but she doesn't hate it. The healing went really well for this one. I did have a couple keloids that tried to start up. I really went after them. I just wanted to get rid of them. I was like, this piercing has to look nice. I got piercings because I think they look nice. So why would I want this to look bad with a keloid? So I went after those keloids right away as soon as they started developing, and I cleaned it forever. I cleaned it for about the first 8 or 9 months after I got it. I cleaned it pretty well every day, twice a day, and even then I would still spray after. I would spray stuff on it, like the sea salt solutions, and the keloids pretty much went away. I have not had a problem since. It's really been a great piercing. Pain-wise, everyone told me it was going to hurt. It really did not. I was irritated at the fact that I went in there and people were like, it's gonna hurt so much, and I really didn't feel it. The first hole, it literally just felt like he just touched my ear. I was like, did you do it yet? And then when he did the second hole, I felt it. It was more like a pinch, but that one really didn't hurt at all either. I was fine with it. It didn't cause any problems. I wasn't like in tears, and the guy who was doing my piercing even was like, you took this better than most full-grown adults that I have had come in here to get this piercing. And I was really proud of myself because I impressed a tattoo piercer, artist, person. So that's all about that piercing. The next piercing I got was my septum. I got this at the beginning of the summer after I graduated high school. It's this one right here. I really like this piercing. A lot of other people don't because they say it makes me look like a bull, which I do understand because that's how they used to drag the bulls around, but I personally just really like this piercing. It's one of my favorites, and it's so nice because I can easily just hide it, and then there it is again. So it's just a convenient, easy piercing, and it healed really, really well. The pain was minimal. It's been a great piercing all around. The next piercing I got are these little beauties, which are my Snakebites. I got these the start of my freshman year in college. I'd already been going to a couple classes. It was the first 3 weeks in, I think. I was like, I'm gonna go do this because I saw these and I really wanted them. My parents were kind of just like, oh, you know, like, doesn't that hurt? You know, they're like, oh, your face. But they've been really accepting about the way that I want to live my life, which is so amazing. My parents actually do like these more than they like my septum because, again, these aren't as obtrusive. They think this one's just right in the middle of my face and looks like a bull. The first one barely hurt, which was this one. It didn't really hurt that much, like, at all. But then he went to do the second one, and I could tell he pierced it wrong because it hurt more, which I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting it to hurt as much as it did. Because he went in like sideways or something. Like he went like, instead of straight through, he went like diagonal down, and I could feel that, and I just feel like that piercing was done right. The second one was done well at all, and I'm just too lazy to go get it fixed. Like, you can see it right there. It's whatever. The first one was okay. The second one, I might just retire the one that was not done right, just because irritating. But healing, they were fine, except for the one that wasn't pierced right. Healing was okay. I had some bumps on the road, but other than that, it was fine. That's pretty much it though. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I hope you stick around, and I will see you in my next video. Hey there, so it's me from the future. I realized that I did not talk enough about the ending of that video. I feel like I should have said also, if you want a piercing and your parents are okay with it if you're underage, but if you're not underage, just go for it. Like, piercings are not as scary as people make them out to be. They're literally just a split second of pain for something that you will enjoy for quite a while. So go for it.